Famous Indian scientist Satish Dhawan 1922-2002 was an Indian rocket scientist, anchor, a pioneer aerospace engineer. He is considered by the Indian scientific community to be the father of experimental fluid dynamics research in India and one of the most eminent researchers in the field of turbulence and boundary layers. He succeeded Vikram Sarabhai as chairman of the Indian Space Research Organization. Raja Raman 1925-2004 was an Indian nuclear scientist and a prominent nuclear physicist. He was associated with the country's first nuclear test in 1974 and researched for more than 40 years. He is often considered as father of Indian nuclear program. Dr. Raja Raman is highly respected scientist in India and Pakistan. M.K. Vainu Bapu 1927-1982, born in Andhra Pradesh, was an Indian astronomer and president of the International Astronomical Union. Bapu helped to establish several astronomical institutions in India, including the Vainu Bapu Observatory named after him, and also contributed to the establishment of the modern Indian Institute of Astrophysics. In 1857, he discovered the Wilson-Bapu effect jointly with American astronomer. Along with two of his colleagues, discovered the Bapu-Bok-Nuvrik comet. U.R. Rao, born 1932, is a space scientist and former chairman of the Indian Space Research Organization. Presently, he is the chairman of the governing council of the Physical Research Laboratory at Ahmedabad, which is considered as the cradle of India's space program. Professor Rao started his career as a comic ray scientist under the Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. Professor Rao undertook the responsibility for the establishment of satellite technology in India in 1972. K. Kasturi Rangan, born 1940, is a space scientist based in Bangalore who headed the Indian Space Research Organization for more than 9 years. He is now a member of the Planning Commission of Government of India. He is also the director of the National Institute of Advanced Studies, Bangalore. Under his leadership, the program witnessed several major milestones, including the successful launching and operationalization of the India's prestigious launch vehicles PSLV and GSLV. Rodam Narasimha, born 1943, he is one of India's foremost aerospace scientists and a world-renowned fluid dynamics. He was the chairman of the engineering mechanics unit of the JNCASR India. He concurrently holds the Pratt and Whitney Chair in Science and Engineering of the University of Hyderabad. He was educated from the Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore and obtained his PhD degree at the California Institute of Technology. Meghanand Saha, 1893-1956, was an Indian astrophysicist best known for his development of the Saha equation used to describe chemical and physical conditions in stars. Saha got deeply interested in the relativity theory. He was nominated for the Nobel Prize in Physics 4 times in 1930, 1937, 1939 and 1940. In 1947, he established Institute of Nuclear Physics, which later was named after him as Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics. APJ Abdul Kalam, born 1931, was the 11th President of India. He was popularly known as People's President. Before his term as India's President, he worked as an aeronautical engineer with DRDO and ISRO. He is properly known as the Missile Man of India for his work on development of ballistic missile and space rocket technology. In India, he is highly respected as a scientist and as an engineer. Sudev K. Atare, born 1939, he is an Indian scientist and former head of the Defence Research and Development Organization, India's premier defence R&D organization. In that capacity, he also served as the scientific advisor to the Defence Minister. He is an awardee of the Padma Bhushan Award. He is regarded as Solar Man of India. Anil Kakodkar, born 1943, Dr. Anil Kakodkar is an Indian nuclear scientist. Currently, he is the chairman of the Atomic Engineer Commission of India and the secretary to the Government of India Department of Atomic Energy. He was also the director of the Bhabha Atomic Research Center at Tromboi. Dr. Anil Kakodkar has been playing a crucial part in defending sovereignty for India's nuclear test. He is known for being a strong advocate of India's self-reliance by employing thorium as a fuel for nuclear energy. J.B.S. Haldane, 1892-1964, was a British-born Indian resident scientist, genetic and evolutionary biologist. He was one of the founders of population genetics. He was educated at Orthodox and served in the British Army during the First World War. Haldane moved to India initially to the Indian Statistical Institute (ISI). Haldane introduced many quantitative approaches in biology, such as on being the right size. His contribution to the theoretical population genetics and statistical genetics are notable. Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar, 1894-1955, was a well-known Indian scientist. He went to England and on a research fellowship after completing his master's degree in India. His research interests included emulsions, colloids, and industrial chemistry, but his fundamental contributions were in the field of magnetochemistry. He used magnetism as a tool to know more about chemical reaction. He established a total 12 national laboratories such as Central Food Processing Technological Institute, Mysore.